Hey, Wright State. My name is Courtney Lakaitis. I am the Program Manager to Student Organizations in the Office for Student Involvement and Leadership. And today I'm going to show you how to complete the registration application, which is one of the requirements for the SORT program. The first thing that you'll do is log on to Engage by going to wright.edu/engage. You will use your W number credentials to log in, and once you've gotten to that point, you will see the home page like you see on your screen. The upper left-hand corner has a arrow and three-lined menu button that we call the hamburger button, and you'll want to click on that first. You'll see that a menu option will show, and some of these menu options should be very familiar to you. And then you'll scroll down to the bottom here to under My Organizations. My profile for SORT is going to mimic exactly what you will all see, even though I'm a campus department profile. So I hope that this is a streamlined process for all of you at this point. You will notice that the SORT profile has a blue snowflake icon. That means that my profile is frozen, which is what you will see starting April 15th to May 15th, and then throughout the rest of the academic year, as it fits to the timeline that your organization has to submit the SORT requirements. Next to the name of your organization, you're going to see the gear icon. Go ahead and click that. A smaller menu option will open, and I want you to go ahead and click Manage Home. You will see a number of things here. You will see that your organization is still frozen, so that's a good indicator. You will also see a message that we provide to Engage. So you'll notice that some of this video, some of the dates are not accurate because we haven't updated it yet, but I promise it will be updated by the time that you get ready to use this as a resource to complete the application. And then lastly, you'll see this beautiful blue re-register this organization button. Go ahead and click on that button. The first page that you will see is an instructions box. So this has some really good general information about what to expect, why you're doing this, my contact information, minimum requirements, some dates, all those good things. So go ahead and read through it if you need to, but if you don't, you can always click the next button. Now remember, your registration application is a re-registration. So 99% of the information that you have already provided and is already available on Engage will be generated within the application for you. So this part of the application is really just like a checks and balances. If you need to update your name or maybe the description summary or the entire description, I would recommend that you do it now. Read through this information, make sure that everything's good to go. You don't need to make any edits, anything like that. And then you'll continue on down in the page to make sure that all of your information is still accurate. So if I wanted to update my Twitter information or maybe provide a YouTube channel that we use, I could put that there. The one thing I am going to update is our office location because we moved. And then before you click next, this is like one of the most important pieces that you will put in. You're going to put in the name and email of the president, treasurer, and advisor for the upcoming 2023-2024 academic year. So go ahead and do that now. Once that's completed, you will click on the blue Next button. The profile picture is step 3, and so if you have a profile picture, it's probably going to already be on here. If you need to update that, go ahead and click the Choose File button, but this is also not a requirement. So if you don't have a profile picture or you don't want to provide one, you don't have to at this point. You can just click the Next button. Step 4 is another non-required option that you have, I guess. It is the organization categories. Categories is a filter that Engage has under the organization tab for students, faculty, and staff to search for organizations. So if you don't want to include a category, that's totally fine, but you can do it here if you would like. You'll see here that I am already assigned as a campus department, but let's say that I wanted to change that. All I'm going to do is just click on the name of the category and it will automatically be removed. Similarly, for the available categories, as you're reading through some of these different ones, you can select the category that best fits your organization and just click on the name and it will go back into the assigned categories. Once that's done, go ahead and click Next. This piece is my most favorite piece of the registration application and something that I take a little bit more seriously than the rest of the process. And so this is your roster. And I want you to listen carefully to the process of this because this will help mark one thing off of your checklist whenever we get into the academic year is to have your roster updated and ready to go. Starting at the top of the page, you will see that there are some roster requirements. That includes 1 advisor, 1 president, 1 treasurer, and 6 participants. Now, your president and treasurer can be included as a part of those 6 members. So if you have a smaller organization and you only have 8 members, that's perfectly fine. Your president and treasurer count as the 6 participant or roster requirement, and you can add the other 2 members that you have for that 8-member organization. Or if you have a larger organization, you can utilize the roster to remove some positions that you have already. So by adding new members and assigning them positions, you can either do this on an individual basis or you can do it in bulk. On an individual basis, I would recommend for adding the advisor, president, and treasurer through the individual option, and then the rest of your roster do in the bulk option. So you will just select the position that you want to put in and you will enter their email, and you can also enter their first and last name. You'll notice that the email is a required field to include, and so this is where you have to add their email. I'm going to insert it just for the sake of the video, but I'm going to mute myself because my typing is ridiculously loud. Now, let's say that you have a vice president and you aren't sure of their first and last name because you've never met them. You only have a list of emails. That's totally fine. You can just put their email in and add them and it will get added to everything. Similarly, when you're entering your members or the rest of your roster, you can put their emails one by one and it will just automatically add them to the roster just by inserting their email. So I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so I have my roster here and I'm going to add them. You will see down here that we have a list of people who are on our roster. And then from here, you can also assign the positions. So if it's easier for you to do the backwards option of what I have already shown you and just put a list of your roster through the bulk option, you can always assign them to the positions later. Okay, so I'm going to add a president and a treasurer, which at the top of the page will show me that I have those requirements, but I only have 4 members, so I don't have quite yet all the people that I need to. So I'm going to add some more people to my roster. Okay. Now that I have all of my requirements, you will see at the top that we've achieved all that we need. So every green checkbox is ready to go and we are all set. Now, if you have a list of members and you know that people have graduated or are no longer returning to the organization, you can remove that member by clicking on the blue checkbox next to their name and clicking remove. I cannot say this enough. By focusing on your roster now, it will set you up for success in the future. So we will be, asking you to update your rosters in the fall semester and throughout the academic year. You can get one step ahead of yourself by just taking a couple minutes here to assign positions, remove some people, and add the necessary people to your roster. So once all of that has been completed, you can go ahead and click next. And the last piece of your application is to upload your constitution. I don't have a constitution for sort, so I just uploaded a random file, but please update your constitution and your bylaws and make sure that you are providing the most up-to-date constitution file to the application. And then you'll click next. And it is just that easy. So just before we submit, you can see that we've completed all of our requirements here. You can go ahead and click the blue submit button and you will be all set. If you have any questions or challenges about this process, please send me an email at sort@wright.edu and we will get you set up for success. I hope you have a great day. Thanks so much. Bye.